Here we really do have two of the best super shoes or racing shoes that are on the market, and possibly that's ever been created, in my opinion. So we've got an exciting shoe comparison for you guys today. We've got the Nike Alphafly 3 up against the Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris. So two of probably the best super shoes on the market at the moment. But before we get into it, massive shout out to my #1 running store, the Running Company at Geelong. I've got a link to their website in the description. Go check out that and go check out all their running gear. And also, if you want to support this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So checking out our quick specs here now, what is jumping out to me is certainly the price difference. So you're going to pay top dollar here for the Alphafly. However, there's a fair bit of tech that's gone into the shoe, and there's a little bit going on with it, which we're going to go through later, that probably warrants that extra price. Now you're getting really good value here in the Metaspeed Sky Paris. It's a fairly basic design, but very effective. So in our stack heights, they're pretty much the same. A little bit of difference in the drop, which you can't really tell, but now the weight. So this shoe is extremely light and it feels like you've got nothing on your foot. This one is a little bit heavier and it feels a little bit more bulkier on the foot than the Paris. And in our uppers here, so what they're using in the Alphafly is their Atom Knit 3.0. So it's just it's pretty much a see-through mesh. So it just lets the air flow all the way into the foot, lets that foot breathe. It conforms around the foot, so it just fits the foot just like a glove. It's absolutely amazing, this stuff. We get a little bit more structure here around the heel and the heel counter. The heel counter itself, there's a little bit of structure at the bottom, but then it's nice and flimsy at the top. We've got a heel flare here and some padding inside that Achilles there. We've got a pull tab here. Now the tongue on this shoe is also incorporated into the shoe itself, so it's a booty design, so meaning that there's no separate piece. So to get your foot in, you really need the pull tab and the stretchy tongue, and you can get your foot in that way. You can certainly get your foot in easier in this shoe than what you have been able to in previous Alphafly models. Now the lockdown in this shoe is absolutely excellent. I've had no dramas with the laces or the lacing system, so I can get a great lockdown in this shoe. Now the fit is true to size. This shoe actually feels like it's been custom made for me. It fits me like a glove. The toe box is perfect, it's just wide enough, and the length is just right as well. Super duper comfortable shoe, and the build quality with Nike, as always, could be a little better. It's always a little bit messy, however, great upper here. And in the Sky Paris, so what we've got here is what they call Motion Wrap 2.0. Now this material again is super light, it's super flexible, airy, it just sucks in that air, does a great job to keep that foot nice and cool. Padding wise, we've got it's a really nice amount of padding here right around the heel collar, and it's a really premium material and padding. But again, that does a great job just to keep that foot locked into the shoe. The lockdown in this shoe is absolutely excellent. Again, no issues at all. The heel counter, we've got a bit of structure here in the heel counter, so it's a bit more structured than what you're going to get in the Alphafly. There's no heel flare or pull tab, but you don't really need that in this shoe. And with the tongue, we've got a super thin tongue here, so paper thin. It's not gusseted, but I've had no issues with it sitting on top of the shoe. The lacing system, pretty standard here. Now they use the same shoe laces as what they do in the Alphafly, so it's them little notchable laces, and now they do a great job of cinching the foot down. They don't come undone, or I've never had an issue where these shoelaces have come undone. Now the fit in this one, again, true to size, the length is absolutely perfect for me, but there's a little bit more volume in this toe box than what you're going to get in the Alphafly, and the toe box as well is a little bit wider. But I don't think there's too much volume in it. I think, again, it's just right. So it's a great designed upper in this shoe. Comfort, it's a very comfortable shoe, very comfortable upper, and also the build quality in Asics, as always, is excellent. And in our outsoles here, so with the Alphafly, what we've got here, pretty much full rubber coverage on the forefoot there, and some rubber on the high wear areas at the back. We've got plenty of exposed foam through the middle of the shoe. We've got some crevices there that you can see the exposed fly plate or carbon plate. Now the tread pattern that they use on this shoe is their waffle design. So it's quite aggressive, so these aggressive little nodules, but they do a great job in the grip department in all conditions. I haven't had any slipping issues with this one. And in the Sky Paris, so what we've got here is what they call their Asics grip. So it's an upgraded version of their rubber that they've used in their other models. Now this new version is absolutely excellent, but you can see the coverage there. They haven't changed much in the design of their coverage. Pretty much on the forefoot, down this lateral side and in the high wear areas in the back. But I must say this new version of the Asics grip is excellent in all conditions. It doesn't have an aggressive tread pattern or anything, however, it just must be the rubber compound. Very effective in the wet, but overall in both outsoles, there's pretty much no concerns here. They both perform exceptionally well in all conditions. And in our midsoles here, so in the Alphafly, obviously they're going to use Nike's premium foam, and that is Zoom X. So lots and lots of Zoom X in here. So 2 layers of it. So they've got a top layer, and then from that they've got their full-length carbon plate, is what they call their fly plate, and that's obviously giving the shoe some rigidity. So it's an extremely stiff shoe, this Alphafly. And then from there they've got another, or the bottom layer of Zoom X foam, but then you look in the front of the shoe, they've got their air zoom units, or I call them their AirPods, but yeah, the air zoom units, and they're just designed to give this shoe some bounce and some pop. But it's a really, really great innovation. It's what the Alphafly is famous for. Geometry wise here, we've got a forefoot rocker as well. However, it's changed from previous versions. It's certainly a more gentle forefoot rocker now, so it starts further back in the shoe, and it actually complements these pods a lot better. And in our Sky Paris, so foam they're using here is FF Turbo Plus, so it's an upgraded version of their Super Foam FF Turbo. This foam though, spot on. Now within their foam, again, they've also got a full-length carbon plate, obviously making this shoe pretty stiff as well, but it's certainly not as stiff as the Alphafly. There's no air pods or anything in this. It's pretty much just 2 layers of that turbo foam with that carbon plate squished in the middle. Now geometry wise, they have got a pretty aggressive forefoot rocker here, except the geometry has definitely changed from the previous versions of the Sky Paris. It's certainly moved further back in the shoe, and I think that has made it more accommodating for more runners, but it's still quite aggressive. But the fact that they've moved it back a bit actually feels really, really nice. Now with the ride of the Alphafly, so the first word that comes to mind is it's bouncy. So obviously that's down to these air zoom units here under the forefoot. But with the ride of this, you're going to get a nice soft landing as you strike the ground. So this Zoom X provides great protection from the road. You're going to roll onto these pods. They're going to decompress, and from that, with the assistance of the rocker, these pods will decompress, and that's going to propel you through your foot strike. So it is still a propulsive ride as well. Nice and soft, not too soft and squishy, and it's quite stable through the rear, and that gives you lots of protection in the later stages of your marathon. And it's a really great shoe to lock into your chosen pace as well. So for me, this one at marathon pace absolutely just sings for me. And in the Sky Paris, so what we're going to get here is, first word that comes to mind is propulsive. So yeah, super fast shoe, bouncy shoe, great energy return. And again, it's a nice amount of softness, so it definitely takes all the pounding out of the road. However, this foam has got more rebound than what you're going to get in the Zoom X. You're going to sink in the Zoom X a little more than what you are going to in this FF Turbo. Now, where this shoe gets its propulsion from, it doesn't have the zoom units or anything like that. It's from this really aggressive rocker at the front. So when you roll onto this shoe, it's quite an aggressive pitch forward. And then that decompression of the foam, that pop from the foam, really gets you ticking the legs over nice and quick in this shoe. Where this shoe will suffer though in the marathon races, so as you get a little tired, because the heel here is so thin, that it can get a little unstable through the latter stages of your marathon race. Right, best use, so for the Alphafly, for me, it's marathon to the half marathon. These air zoom units are really going to come into their own in the later stages of your race. And also this nice wide heel here is going to provide the stability that you need later on in your race. Now with the Sky Paris, for me, this one is 5K up until 10K. And that's because I think it's going to get a little challenging later on in the races, especially in the marathon. I think this heel is going to become a little unstable once your form breaks down. But this certainly feels like the faster shoe, a lot more aggressive on the rocker. So for me, 5K, 10K. Right, so just wrapping it up here, we really do have 2 of the best super shoes or racing shoes that are on the market, and possibly that's ever been created, in my opinion. So we've got the king of the marathon and the half marathon for me, the Alphafly. This thing is amazing. Just lock into your pace and set and forget. And then we've also got the quickest feeling shoe and the bounciest and most responsive propulsive shoe for those short races. It's so light, this Sky Paris. So this thing is amazing. It's already got a new PB, personal best or personal record for me in the 5K, and that's amazing considering that I'm a bit of an old boy now. So super happy with this shoe. So in a perfect world, you would have both and use them for both types of races, but I know that everyone is not going to shell out the crazy amount of money that these shoes are worth. So if you could just pick one, you need to focus your attention on what sort of races are you buying this shoe for. If you're a bit of a marathon runner, long distance runner, then I'd probably still lean for the Alphafly. However, if you really enjoy your 5, 10K and even half marathon in this, then this one is totally fine for that. But anyway, guys, that's it from me. Interested to hear your thoughts on my comparison review of these two shoes. If you only had to buy one, which shoe would you guys buy? And also, if you've got any questions, make sure you drop those in the comments below. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. And again, don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.